Hi there. I just wanted to try to explain the goals of the game and kind of explain the process and the overall gameplay I see moving forward into the next milestones of this project. So the game is called Technocomms. It's abbreviated for technical communication, technology and communication, because that is the main learning goal, the learning objectives of this overall game. This is just one part of a larger game, though. It's just the one first, just a 10-minute portion of a large mixed reality game that I'm designing. So there'll be a bunch of people in a room together solving a bunch of puzzles, some of them online, some of them actually in the room. And this is going to be one part of that bigger puzzle. So the setting of the story is this is about 350 AD, between 350 and 400 AD at the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, because this is one of the major places for print media, or as a mass media as we know it. So they're going to be kind of thinking about the first large scale usage of print media for learning and education and the spreading of communication and knowledge. So our four characters, Eric, Yumi, June, and Cindy, have been transported back in time. We don't know why or how, and they have the predicament of trying to find their way back to the future. So you have to work their way around the library grounds, learning that the king, or the emperor in this case, Emperor of Egypt, has ordered the library destroyed, or at least most of the books in the library destroyed, because he fears the uprising of a new religion. So Eric makes a plan to write a book, or put some information inside a book somewhere in the library and keep it safe. The book will send a secret message to himself in the future, which in theory should warn himself from getting sent back in time to begin with. Will it work? Will it not? That's what the whole game is about. But the goal really is just to kind of think about the first usage of print media for communication. For the game settings, I'm going to be mostly using tablets, but I'd like it to be able to be used on smartphones. So we're going to be using HTML output, and if possible, I'd like to use it in landscape, so they turn their phones sideways and play it that way. So a 16:9 ratio, I think, might work better. Um, as I probably have said earlier, that I'm not 100%, not even close to 100%, maybe just 10% familiar about the functionality of RPG Maker MV. So moving forward, I'll need some of your consultation to what of some of these settings, what are the plus and minuses, and what can and can't be done. We talked about the sprites. Hopefully we can get the larger sprites, because the characters are essential, and I'm one of the characters and actually be in the room, so I'd like to be a little more visible. And I want to utilize a touch interface, so I don't want anything too complicated. I don't want to have to really put in any text or dialogue, any typing. I don't want to try and stay away from that. I want to try to keep the interface as simple as possible. So I wrote some dialogue, but it doesn't have to be word for what I've written here, and I've only written the first maybe a couple minutes of dialogue in the story. So they get sent back. Cindy says, "What happened?" "I think no, it can't be. We've just been transported, but where or when?" "What? You mean we've just time traveled?" "I'm not sure, but it looks like a place in my history books. I recognize this building." "Really? A place in history? Where do you think we are?" "The oldest, greatest library in the world." "If you're right, how are we going to get back?" "I'm not sure. Let's look around." And here we have a kind of a basic outline, a basic thing, what I think the world map should look like. So you start outside here, outside of the library, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 screens. Again, this is negotiable, whatever works best for the gameplay. This is just something that I made because I would like this to be able to be finished in 10 minutes or less, if possible. So if you know what you're doing, you should be able to finish in, I don't know, less than 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. But if you don't know what you're doing, it should be able to be finished in roughly 10 minutes or less. So I think maybe these amounts of screens kind of is good for that. Maybe 1 minute per screen kind of thing. So you start off there, you hear the conversation, then you see the world. If that's not possible, you can see the world and then the conversation starts, or you can see it as you're standing there. And you go up to, there's nothing really to do here except there's a peasant in a field, and you go up to him and start talking. Sensei. Oh, this is actually before. This is June in the group. What is it, June? We don't even know how we got here. How are we ever going to get back home? I don't know, June. Try and stay calm. We need to find out find out just exactly where we are first. What do you suggest? We walk up to someone and ask? That's not a bad idea. So that's exactly what you do. You go up to the peasant and you say, hello, we seem to be lost. That's actually Greek. Oh boy, I don't speak Greek. But luckily, June in our party can speak Greek. Hello, let me try. Hello, can you tell us what place this is? You must not be from around here. This is the greatest library in all the lands. Thank you. We would like to see inside. Go right ahead. The guard may ask an admission fee, and be careful. There are strange things happening lately. I see. Thank you for the information. So, just to clarify, these orange areas are areas that you can cross over into the next screen. So maybe there's books here, and then there's a hallway here kind of thing going to the next screen. That's not set in stone. A lot of the design details I will leave up to you. I just want to make sure I get the overall theme and the storyline of the game portrayed to you, so you can help me make the minor decisions as far as design goes. So you talk to the peasant here, and then you'll go over here, and you'll see another person. He's a soldier, and he's guarding the building. So actually here I've, to help you design what it might look like, these are some pictures I've taken off the web that looks like the outside of the Library of Alexandria. So might be a fruit vendor, and then some people walking around in togas. I don't know if that's going to be be able to put in the scope of this project to design extra assets for this, but using some of the default ones, I don't mind. Again, these are the same thing in a Minecraft world. Looks pretty cool. Actually, I thought about using Minecraft for this project, but I'm going with RPG Maker instead. So you go up to the soldier. By decree of the Emperor Theodosius, the library is closed until further notice. Oh, really? No one is allowed inside? Only those with official business. I understand. Great. And now some of the people inside the party talk. Great, we can't even get inside. Sure we can. We just have to be on official business. Okay, but how? I'm not sure. Let's ask around and see if we can't find out more about what's going on. So you have the option of trying to walk around. Maybe there's another few people in here just to say some random stuff. I'll leave that up to you. If that's a good or bad thing, or it'll extend the time too long, maybe we should cut down the amount of NPCs, something we might have to think about. But over in this next screen here, you'll find a librarian that will give you some more information. And go up to the librarian. Excuse me, could you tell us what's going on? Paganism was made illegal by an edict of the Emperor Theodosius. Today, the temples of Alexandria were closed by Patrick Pope Philophus. I can't even pronounce it right. Is that why there were soldiers everywhere? Yes, I think they're going to burn all the books and scrolls. So much information would be lost. That's why I came outside to try to find help. How could we help? There's a basement where books and scrolls should be safe from fire. I want to collect some important books and hide them there, but I'm afraid of the soldiers. I'm not sure we can help. Ching. Eric says, we should help him. Yes, and in the process, should we help him? Should we help him? That's a question. Yes, and in the process, we can help ourselves. Do you have a plan? It may be a long shot, but if this is the Library of Alexandria, and it may be about to be burned, it must be around 400 AD, and some of the contents from this library is some of the oldest surviving print material in our time. Perhaps we could send ourselves a message and avoid being sent here in the first place. That sounds like a long shot, but I think we should try. Sounds like the best idea we have. Let's do it. I agree. Let's help. We have agreed to help you. Great. Here are a list of books and scrolls to save. I'll give you my librarian sash so you can get in. After you collect all the books, find my friend and he will help you get into the basement. Got it. Oh, and be careful. Be careful in the basement. There might be things down there. What things? Where are you going? He runs off. So now you have the sash. You go up to the guard. He lets you in. And from this point on, I don't have any exact dialogue for what goes on in here. There basically are two kinds of NPCs in here, librarians and soldiers. Some of them might tell you to get lost. Some of them might give you information about what's going on in the library. I can provide further information. I'd like to learn a little bit more about why the library is being burned down during this process as you walk through. And basically, you're going to place some books all around. You're going to go look around the bookshelves and try to collect between 5 and 10 books. And I'll give you a list of books or a list of scrolls that you might actually find in the Library of Alexandria. As soon as you find them all, you can ask this librarian, and then you will get access to these through these orange doors, and for which one there is a staircase that goes down into the basement. And as soon as you get into the basement, walk around, and you'll have one battle. And I haven't really decided what the battle against what that might be. It might be kind of like a sewer rat. What do we think it might be in the basement of the library? It could be a soldier that finds out that we're not who we say we are, so we have to battle him. And all we really have it to battle him with is our minds and maybe some rocks off the floor. So it could be, if you have an idea, as a battle where we don't actually defeat him, but we actually get by him in some way, or we were able to run away. And then in the next room, there's a shelf or someplace where we can, or a chest where we can stash all the items. And Eric writes a message to himself in the future. And then as soon as that happens, a teleporter thing pops up, and we're able to escape the library. Now here's some pictures of what the inside the library may look like to help you with the design. Here's a layout of what the inside of the main hall of the library was said to look like. You can use it, you could not use it. It's just for reference. Let's see here again. Items, open doors, passages, NPCs. So soldiers and peasants and librarians are the only type of NPCs I see going here. And moving forward, maybe some closing statements from the group talking about reflecting on what they've just gone through. And at that point, I want to give a hint for which they can use to open a lock. It's going to be in the dialogue. And if this project goes well, I'd like to continue making mini quests for each of the mass mediums that we find in using technology today. After print becomes recordings, then cinema, then radio, television, internet, mobile technology, and then augmented and virtual technology. If it goes well and you want to continue working with me, we might find arrangements to continue mini quests for each of those. If you have any questions, please contact me about it. Hopefully that just gives you an idea what I'd like to do for the game moving forward. I really appreciate all your comments and your explaining a lot to me up to this point. And if we can talk live, face-to-face sometime in the near future, I'd like that as well. All right, thanks a lot. And I'll end this video and hopefully talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.